thanks to God for allowing us a small reprieve between snowstorms so we can get into tonight's program. I would also request that all those attending from our Los Angeles office please keep their smugness to a minimum. In all seriousness, I'd like to begin by thanking our board member and benefactors for tonight's evening, Alan Francis P.D. Adler. I've been blessed to benefit from Alan's wisdom and advice over the past year. The State of Anti-Semitism lecture came about as a result of his vision many years ago. This lecture has been endowed in memory of Alan's mother, Dorothy Gardner Adler. May she rest in peace. Alan, I know that she is watching this great event and is very proud of the leadership that you and your family continue to provide to our community. I would also like to thank our co-chairs for tonight's event, Lawrence and Lorna Grave, Norm and Kim Perlin, David and Jody Perla, and James and Patricia Tolan. And to all of our patrons, thank you for your invaluable support of the Simon Wiesenthal Center. None of this would have been possible without the efforts of the greatest staff in the world, and a very special thank you to the New York staff of the Simon Wiesenthal Center. Thank you so much. This past Friday, I took a trip to Pine Bush, New York. Pine Bush was recently featured by the New York Times as having been the scene of multiple acts of anti-Semitism and harassment against Jewish students in the school. Those acts included forcing Jewish teens to dive into garbage cans to retrieve coins, Jewish students on school buses being subjected to endure Nazi salutes and taunts of white power. One Jewish girl had a swastika drawn on her face. Just a few weeks ago, the Simon Wiesenthal Center listed those acts on its top 10 list of anti-Semitic slurs for the past year. We have been in touch with the Pine Bush school system, and in 2 weeks, the superintendent, along with her staff, will be coming to the New York Museum of Tolerance for a tour and a conversation about what needs to be done. I traveled to Pine Bush this past Friday to see more than just the school system. I wanted to walk the area, speak to the locals, and to better understand the local mentality. I was told that in one of the towns in the district, a new development was being built, and the word on the street was that Jews would be moving in. I went to see this development, and what I saw sent a chill up my spine. Immediately adjacent to the complex, in an empty lot, was a large wooden crucifix with a sign next to it that said, "Freedom Field." Freedom from what, you may ask? I believe the message is very clear. The desire is freedom from Jews. I'm not talking about Berlin in the 30s or modern-day Iran. This is taking place a 90-minute drive from where we are sitting. So the inevitable question is, what do we do? I believe there are two answers to that question. The first is to speak out in a loud and clear voice and to express outrage. We must let our public officials know that this is intolerable. We must let the world know that we will not stand silent in the face of anti-Semitism. The second approach must be that of education. We must educate and inspire the next generation, our children, that they cannot accept intolerance or bigotry, they cannot be silent, and inaction is not an option. The Museum of Tolerance has been delivering this message to the masses for over 20 years. Whether they be black or white, Latino or Asian, Jewish, Christian, or Muslim, we must redouble our efforts to make sure that the children of New York understand the need to stand up and fight against prejudice and injustice. That is why we have launched a campaign called Students for Tolerance. Our goal is to expand dramatically and bring 35,000 New York students to the New York Museum of Tolerance in the coming year. We invite all of you to join us and partner with us as we make this dream a reality. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.